YouTube channel. So today we're going to do a final video to close off this project or van refurbishment that's been going on since summer 2000. What year are we in? 2021. Right, okay. So I'm going to do a full walk around of the outside now to close things off, because obviously I have advanced things more on the van itself. So I'm going to start now with the driver's side, and I'm going to go right round, and then I'm going to bring the camera up close and do a few discussions on parts that I have done up that have come up in part 1, part 2 and part 3 recently, but part 3 this video. So moving on now to the side of this van, driver's side, you have all the graphics. One of them kept confidential at the minute, the one with the poster over there, my YouTube poster. So as you will see here going around the van, it has changed a bit, the graphics. So I've added find me on Facebook now, and also the front graphics has changed slightly. So I'm going to just give a wee talk through here on this side here. So as you can see here in the background, all my projects are on the side of the van, can be seen on YouTube, except the aperture. The large aperture there, the large rotating door, that will come in April in the good weather. I don't want to bring it out in this miserable weather. So moving on to the front of the van, you have the Facebook stickers now on the wings. You can see you have the alloy wheels, Bola B25s, no more steel wheels on this van, they were rotten and corroded. Moving on to the front, you now have the Facebook logo on the front too. And also on the driver's wing we have find me on Facebook. So that's it. We're now going to bring the camera up close to some of the outside features, and then we'll move on to the inside. So starting with I think we'll start with the alloys. So these alloys are B25s. I have powder coated. I'll stick with the wheels first. So the wheels are brand new. The brakes are all powder coated. New springs, new seals, new everything. They're candy purple. They look blue in the video, which they are not. I will go through the process of powder coating all these in this video. There's a lot of video clips that follows this introduction. So we have the spacers here. They're also powder coated by me. The brake discs are powder coated. So there's the Facebook stickers up close, looks well against the yellow. I choose the colour there, the blue, to match the Facebook. Looks good. So I'm going to start here with these mud flaps. These mud flaps are carbon fibre effect. They're not just screwed on, they are attached with rivet nuts that were placed in the wings long before I painted the wings and the sills. So they are stainless rivet nuts. There's the carbon fibre mud flap there. So moving on around the van here, I'm going to open up all the doors here, and I'm going to just talk about everything together. Check straps away in that door right enough. Okay, so the rails, I talked about this in part 2 of the van refurbishment. So the rails are all powder coated, sandblasted and powder coated. They're really well finished, you know. And the brackets are all done up and refurbished for the doors. All stainless bolts. Door has been painted. So the hinge that was on this door, the bracket, contaminated the door. So I've done up the 2 sliding doors at the bottom. As you can see, the doors are nice and free now. This is the poster covering my work I'm currently at. I don't really want anybody seeing it yet. So these brackets are also done up. These rails are done up, everything is done up in the van. Part 1 shows a intense refurbishment of below the van. So we have the new wheels at the back obviously too, and the new drums, new shocks, new springs. You can see them in through there, the shocks and the springs. Carbon fibre carbon fibre mud flaps at the back, also carbon fibre splash guards and behind it. Going round to the back of the van, we will open up the doors. So here, there's another logo, find me on Facebook, that's new. So back in summer 2021, I think it was August, I done up the inside of this van to the standard. and you can see it's over the top. I'll open up a sliding door too. Get the light done. So as you can see in here now, we have all the red leather and the black carpets and the sound system. I'm not going to turn the sound system on because I'll get a copyright penalty for the music that I am playing. So red leather, everything's steamed. All these boards is 6 mil ply, steamed, curved both way, both axis, if you know what I mean. So this way and the opposite direction. The opposite axis to the other. So really see this here now. So see this mud flap, the mud flap, the mud, what am I talking about? Right, okay, I'll explain this better. So inside here we have the fuel cap, right? And we have the wheel arch. And you can see a unique shape here around the arch. That's because of the fuel filler, the gooseneck filler that goes down into the tank. You have it this side, it's nice and round. So the reason I didn't build a big square box over this because I wanted to make as much room inside the van as possible. I didn't want a big ugly looking box sitting here, if you understand me. So I have to still finish off wee bits on the outside here, but I'll just stay inside now. So we have this sound system box that I built. This was all done before part 1. There's a video that came long before part 1 in the summer, as I mentioned, and that video is doesn't include none of the refurbishing the bottom of the van. So up here we have my YouTube posters. They hand out if anybody wants them. So the seats are out of a Del Sol. They were installed in the summertime. The brackets, I made the brackets for them. They're lovely and comfortable to sit in. We have this nice Momo Integra Type R steering wheel. I made the base, I made the Boss adapter for that. You can see it in there. There's loads of video clips coming up of making that part. It's really well made. It's made quite unique, if I might say. So you'll see yourself if you watch the whole video. So that's it. And the inside, I think I haven't missed anything. Oh yeah, one other thing. So I have a wee inverter here to charge my phone because you couldn't depend on 12 volts DC, the amount power supply. So I just put 230 volts AC. So I have the same power you have in your house. Obviously I have low wattage, so I've only peak power, or I have continuous power 330 watts. Wouldn't run a kettle, but it would run chargers and stuff like that. So we have this nice custom mat in the front, also to match the colour of the van. This was purchased off eBay, and I asked them for a nice yellow trim around the outside of it. We have the yellow kick pad too. Obviously, me being me, with my projects not getting under the van, that will not be staying there. I'll just flip it over to the side. And use it for good wear maybe, or good clothes. So, Facebook logo up at the top. So again, all runners, brackets, hinges, whatever you want to call them, nice and free. These rear ones was all done up too, all blasted, treated. These weren't that bad actually. All stainless bolts in there, you can see them, 316 or 304, not sure. So again, you have the nice bolo wheels, the nice candy purple, not blue. Camera's telling lies. So we have also the nice neat, basically what I done here is I made a template to, there's a wee bit of tar, not really. So I made a template to set these rivet nuts under the wing before I painted them. I don't like that there, that's bugging me, a wee bit of dirt. You see it's coming off. I'm fussy. We have the Facebook stickers going in a nice flow out the front of the van, so that's the reason I put them like that. What do we see here? So if you look at it, it's sort of going like a rocket. If that makes sense. You notice it better this side. So we have it going out, rather than just keeping them straight and boring looking. I done them in an angle to be different. I think I've talked about everything, you know. I really hope I don't miss anything. So I have a roof rack for this van I made. I don't put it on the van because it ruins the looks of it. So I'll use it for kayaking when I go kayaking. I'm just going to keep talking here a minute just in case I forgot anything. So black carpet, red leather, Del Sol seats, Integra Type R steering wheel. She's a queer wagon, she's a queer runabout. So we have all my wee projects at the back too that promote my YouTube channel. There's some projects that aren't on the van too. There's some projects aren't on the van. This one here is really good, as I talked about it there. It will come in the summertime. Oh, for one last thing, so see down here you have the nice new sills. Well, they aren't just welded onto that is all completely cut out, replaced, and behind, see part 1 of this whole van refurbishment, to see that. We have nice stainless jacking points, 3mm plate, welded into the van itself. I'm just going to do one final walk around here before I go. Close this door up. I think I haven't forgot anything on the inside. I don't think anyway. I hope I didn't. Just let me get a wee juke in here. So the brackets and the seats come before part 1 video on my channel. Came in the summertime. The subwoofer, the carpet, the ply lined, the red leather, all that ply lined where I used the steamer, all comes before part 1. Part 1 video. Part 1 demonstrates the work involved in doing up the cells itself and underneath the van. So part 2 discusses runners, doing up the runners there on the side, doing up the hinges. The steering wheel comes now in part 3. The powder coating comes in part 3 of the calipers, the hubs, the wheel spacers. I actually lacquered inside the new wheels to keep them from corroding because the factory doesn't put enough powder in the back of them. Strangely enough, I'm not on about the mating face. I'm on about the mating face and beside the mating face of the wheels. So that's it. Just a wee discussion before I move on. So this jewellery manifold is on my YouTube channel. Go and look at it. It's really interesting. It's turbulence tested. I call it one tested. So I forced air through it to mimic sitting on a V6 engine. So I've set it up, firing order on the software package to mimic it before I just started designing it. Sorry, before I manufactured it. So in the design, I have designed it on computer first. This hand monitoring system, really cool. Different technologies on it to mimic. This here mimics a finger joint movement. Really good. Aero Atom replica, I call it. It's made to can't say it's exactly the same because I've designed it off thousands of pictures myself and ready to build it, but I haven't got time at the minute. We have my space heater, 2 jerry cans welded together. We have this nice stainless enclosure, took 2 days to make. We have a nice mirror polished. We have a mirror polished under tray, heat deflector. We have my project car. I have another project car in the shade too. This one's really unique. My life. I'm only joking. Right, so that's it. Just a wee talk at the side. My pneumatic spot welder. You see it on my YouTube channel. Really long video, but the reason it's so long is because it's so unique. I built this transformer to suit the pneumatic welder, and this box to suit these 2 devices. So it's unique too, world class. We have this guard. We have my glove. It's in behind here. It's also unique. We have this linear louvers. That's quite cool. We have this industrial oven. All on my YouTube channel if you want to see it. Please do so. Some of the videos are quite long, but then again, my videos are unique or class. I can promise you. So then again, that's it, finished. So enjoy the rest of the video. The rest of the video will be video clips that I done. When was it? December, November, January, and I think I started. Then video clips might start back September, October. I think as far back as then, maybe. So enjoy. So the van is getting there slowly but surely. Building up the front. But I got a wee juke in here to get a look at her. So you can see here now I shine the torch on. Everything's immaculate. Subframes, chassis, stubs, all sandblasted, chipped sandblasted. Even the discs are powder coated, the hubs, and the outskirts of the disc candy purple, as you can see. There are a pair of vice clips sitting up in the shocks there because I have the calipers off at the minute. Might just lower that down in case it falls. So or I will cry. So, don't want brake fluid everywhere either. So, just set this down here gently. So the vice grips are hanging there now. I have the flexi clamped, as you can see. So I'm ready to do the calipers now. Is the next step. I have new shocks in the front, new springs, new everything, new cells. Everything in the van's completely new. Everything's professionally done, painted right up to the door edge. We have a new carpet. We have the wipers painted, sandblasted and papered, or sorry, painted. We have a new carbon fibre for the door. What do you call it? Strip or sill protector, carbon fibre finish, 5D. We have the nice new carpet, and we have the back of the van. It's all immaculate. That was done ages ago. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is a wee quick demonstration in the back here. So we have these springs are sandblasted and painted. However, I'm in two minds whether to buy new ones because these ones is a bit flaky. I didn't get them with a blaster. I have new shocks coming, saxed, or however you pronounce that. This back axle is, the front's finished. So there's as you can see there, the quality in there is, you know, it's flattened with 320 after the first coat when it was in the tent. That there is stone chip in the chassis. You can see the yellow paint blowing onto the cells. My nice Facebook sticker when you see if I go down the back again. So what I have to do to the back now is I have to give the axle a wee flatten in areas where I'm not happy with. Them shocks has been replaced, as I've mentioned, two new ones coming in the post. The bolts are all being replaced to 70mm M12 bolts. Stainless, of course. What a ground the other side, a wee juke. Just a wee update. Or a wee clip to add into the complete video. So you can see there, it's exactly the same, immaculate. And if we get a juke up underneath, the van is completely, you know, there's no half jobs here. Never is. Even these runners is powder coated. Look at the dust line on them gloss black. So them runners is zinc primer on them, gloss base, a black base, and then a clear lacquer. Even the runners in the back doors. So I will open that just to show if I can lock to the seat. So we also have this Honda steering wheel and a boss made up. See images at the end. I will demonstrate this in a video clip anyway. It'll probably come, so you can see it. I've made up the boss for the steering wheel for a nice Momo steering wheel in the van. Very dark in this shade at the minute. So when I see this, I may as well just show this since I'm here. So look at this, the quality here. These bottom runners are painted immaculate too. It's all dirt, dust at the minute. These cells were painted, spot welded in behind these. These runners, will I get the torch out here? Them runners is all painted with enamel paint, sandblasted and treated. And obviously I purchased ones with better condition than the ones that were on the van. So, when you see the back runners, the back hinge, immaculate again. All dust. Powder coating on the shade currently, look at the graphics, all dust. So that's it. Okay everyone, so we're ready to weld this boss for my steering wheel, the Momo wheel that's going on the van. What do we see here? So this is the old boss for the Integra Type R DC2. I'm not interfering with this in any way at all. So basically if I want to put the steering wheel back to normal in the future, I can. Just by removing the 4 bolts in the inside of the steering wheel. 1, 2, 3, 4. M6 cap head bolts. Allen key. So this is the Momo wheel. We have the ABS, another part for the steering wheel sitting in the van to protect it at the minute. So basically what I need to do is make a boss up to fit the van from this wheel. So what I have done here is I have made this plate, basically just using the grinder and a file. And if you look closely at this, You can see how precise I have made it. Much like a jigsaw puzzle. And this side's the same. So basically what I've done here is I've got the original steering wheel and I have cut it down as far as possible. This is cast aluminium and this is billet aluminium. I'm going to weld them together using the MIG. I'm going to heat them up. Heat this plate up because it's 9mm thick. To a wee bit of temperature before I weld it. Reason I'm using MIG is because I don't have a TIG at the minute, AC. I just have a DC TIG, so I'm using the MIG welder with the argon bottle and this adapter plate that I made. So again, to point out, this is a part that I have spent probably about 2 hours making from a steering wheel. 2 hours, I'd say more than 2 hours, probably 6 hours to be honest. So I have carved this into a sort of a, you know, the top of a castle effect, the way they did the blocks years ago. So basically this slides in to this fitment, nice and neat, and I can turn it upside down, it doesn't fall off. That's how neat it is, the fit. And so that's basically filed out with a file to match. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to place 4 welds on the back of the boss here, the adapter. 1, 2, 3, 4. But I'm doing this, I have to heat this up because it's quite thick. Because it's different with a TIG welder. A TIG welder penetrates the alloy more, puts the heat into it, but the MIG just puts the blobs on. So you have to make sure that this plate's warm first, hot to touch before you start welding it with a MIG. Otherwise, the MIG weld will just sit on top of the plate itself. I'm on quite a rush because the van's up to the MOT tomorrow and the white car is up to the MOT the day after. And that's out of tax at the end of the month. And if it goes out of tax, the MOT today, the 25th. So if I don't get that car MOT, it has to be sorted off the road, and I don't want that to happen because the good welders coming. So again, this is a plate that I made, a circle disc cut out with a grinder, 9mm thick, filed nice and neat, and actually polished up using the burnisher. If you want to see more photos of this in detail, there will be a section at the end of this video demonstrating how this was cut and filed out and where this part came from. So basically this is just the back of a steering wheel. I have burnt the steering wheel, the rubber, the polyurethane rubber off the alloy to leave us with this. So basically on a steering wheel originally this would go out like away out to the round bar alloy. Lots of chunks of aluminium, so I've cut them up into bits just to leave us with this. So now what I'm going to do, right, is going to do a video demonstration of me welding it. It'll be nothing special because, as I say, I'm in a rush. This van needs to be polished and graphics and all put on it in one day. The wipers need the final paint, so the wipers are sitting ready to be painted, but some work. So we quick demonstration of this going together again. So this is the plate, nice and neat. You can see here, if I show this in camera, that this is sort of slides in perfect. It's quite beautiful, isn't it? And then this side's the same, slides in quite perfect. So in theory, if this is like this now, when I go to turn the steering wheel, I'm not dependent on the welds holding the plate. Well I am technically, but this jigsaw effect that I have done here takes all the force of when the wheel is turning, so you're not dependent on only the welds, if that makes sense. So what I'm going to do here now is I'm going to do a video demonstration of me welding it. Quick clip. So again, up close. There's actually a lot of time on this now when I think about it. There's probably about 3 hours getting this ready from a steering wheel, maybe more, 4 hours, and there's probably about 4 hours worth onto this plate. So a day. And there we go. So we'll do a video now. Okay everyone, so What I'm going to do here is I'm going to give it a heat. I don't want to give it too much heat because I built the top of the boss here. It's sitting in position, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a couple of tacks on it. Nearly don't burn the bench right enough. Let me move it out here. So a wee bit of heat. So it's quite warm here now. New weld here now, 4 tacks. Picture of it. So there we have it, 4 tacks. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to put it on the van to see if it looks half straight. If this shaft is perpendicular to the plate at both axes, this 90 degrees out, if that makes sense. I don't want to get splatter in the back of this, so we're going to go out to the van, try it here, and then we're going to finish off welding it. Okay, so it looks okay on the van, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to weld it, try and reduce splatter on this face. If it was a TIG welder I wouldn't have a splatter, but I want to weld it as soon as possible because the heat's in it. So here we go, when I put a glove on, just put a glove on here and then save my hands, okay, or my hand. So now we're going to weld here, 4 points, a nice strong weld. Okay everyone, so I've already started welding here, as you can see. Try here, here and here. 4 spots, well burnt in. I've got wee bits of splatter now, I need to clean off the back of this. Going to try and use a chisel or something without scratching the aluminium itself. I wish I had a TIG welder to do this, but I didn't have one. But it's still good enough, you never see it. So the heat's in it now, so I'm going to continue welding this last part here. Put my glove on just. You can see here now it's welded right round with the MIG. I don't think I can get welds anywhere else, to be honest. I probably could in here, but I don't want to put too much on it because it'll make it look very rough. So that'll do it. Strong enough, considering I have these wee jigsaw pieces cut out here. So really what these welds is doing is holding the plate into the adapter that I have made from the steering wheel. So as I say, I'll just go say it again in more detail. So basically this plate is set into the boss, the adapter. When the steering wheel has been turned, forces are being applied to this point, this point, this point and this point. So you're not dependent on the weld only to hold, you know, so it'll never break, put it like that. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed this wee clip. Van's up the MOT tomorrow, so I'll have the motor on here. Okay everyone, so this is finally welded now. I have decided to paint it black. Not the rubber obviously, but the actual alloy itself. Because I need to give it a wee sand here and there to remove splatter. And just to make it look more, I don't know, fashionable. So I've got to get on here with a sander somehow. So you can see the jigsaw there, jigsaw effect. When I'm sanding it there now, you can see the dirty part and the clean part. Just a wee close up. There's sand on the table because I was blasted on it a couple days ago. So would I get something to sit this on just... So we've got a rag here. We'll go again. So you can see there now it's not bad. I'm going to keep working on it here, but just a wee demonstration of cleaning it before painting it. Okay everyone, so I have sanded this face. I have got on here this camera. It's turned off. So on here I'm using the Dremel to remove some of the splatter spots that are hard to get out with a sander. So here we go. So you can see here now it's ready for painting. Give it an RV sand maybe, but it looks good. Okay everyone, so we have the boss finished here now, painted and all, ready to be attached to the van. So if you want to see this, the stages making this boss from the start, from converting the steering wheel and making this round plate, and welding it, the pictures are all attached to the end of this video. So there we go. Okay everyone, so I bolted the boss onto the steering wheel now. There's the back. So that is the back. That's it. Fancy steering wheel for the wee van. Okay, so at this stage I am cleaning the spring seats for the rear springs. These could not be got. They were really contaminated with rust. Actually too much that they couldn't be sandblasted. So what I done here is I removed the rust first before I sandblast it with a carbide burr using a die grinder. Bad, but once I sandblast it now and powder coat it, it'll be beautiful. It'll do. So you'll never see it. Powder coating will hopefully protect it forever, for my lifetime anyway. Okay, so we have these new wheels for the van. After all the work I done to the steel wheels, they are not being used now, so I got these wheels brand new tires, 17-inch Bola B25s, the same as was on my project car, or my good car. So there we have the van finished. It's kind of dark in here, but you can see how neat it is. Candy purple. It looks blue in the camera here, but it is not blue, it is purple. The hubs at the back are the same. They are not purple, they are blue. Or sorry, they are not blue, they are purple. Candy purple. Don't know why it looks blue in the camera, but there we go. I might just open the door here to give you a look at how clean the van is at the back now. So when this door opens here, the daylight comes on. Let me just heater back. Okay, so you can see the van there now is immaculate. You can see the detail I went to, the depth. That is candy purple. It looks pure blue in the camera, strange. So everything, axle and all, is all refurbished. Spring seats, the top, are all powder coated. So I haven't just blew up there with the stone chip. I have powder dismantled the the spring tops, seats, and the rubbers, and everything is done up, as you will see in the pictures at the end. So now, moving on, I want to demonstrate something else here. What do we see? So on my spray booth here, or my powder coating booth, we have these spacers. These are required for the wheels, for the alloys, the new alloys. As the alloys are hitting the calipers. We don't want that because we don't want to destroy the good candy finish that I have left. Looking at these calipers here, you will see the photos at the end. They are professionally done up to a standard 100%. Like part of that caliper is sandblasted. Everything's removed. You will see in the pictures at the end. So we don't want the alloys hitting here, the bracket, the caliper bracket. So we're putting the spacers on. But these spacers are painted silver, right? They're not anodized. It looks like a matte paint or satin finish. So what I want to do is I want to put a coat of lacquer on top of them, because I don't want them corroding over the top of my alloys. So I need to put a coat of powder coating on them today. Hopefully the paint that's on it at the minute will stick the temperature in the oven, 180 degrees, 200 degrees. If it doesn't, it means I have to strip the spacers completely and put a clear coat of lacquer on them. I don't like the silver against the brakes, but it will do. It's only a van, as they say. I'm going to point out one other thing before I finish. So, not look at that wheel, we'll look at this wheel. So, this wheel has been cut out, machine finished from factory for the PCD of my wheels, which is 5x98. It's a very rare fitment, and they are cut out, and there's so basically these wheels is a blank wheel, and when they cut them, they leave them with the alloy bare to the atmosphere or to the climate in this country. So moisture or water, anything can get in, it starts corroding the wheel nuts. So what I have done here is I have coated each one of these holes in lacquer, not powder now, just ordinary acrylic lacquer, and I have also done the backs of the wheels. See that silver part there, the hub of the wheel, if you could call it, that is all coated in lacquer there. You can see the shine. That's because I don't want it corroding, because them wheels were quite expensive. But you're probably wondering what sort of wheel nuts is holding this wheel on. So now that we're using spacers for the wheel to suit the van, the wheel nuts need extended to compensate the spacer, which is 15mm. It doesn't require 15mm in the van, but it only requires 10, or if even 5. 10 at the front and 5 at the back. But 15mm is all I could get. So one final thing before I end this clip. In my oven up here, I have 20 new wheel nuts, 5 for each wheel. They are zinc coated. However, when them wheel nuts come in a bag, they are bounce off each other and they are all tarnished and chipped. Not the zinc coating is tarnished, rubbed where the sharp edges of each wheel nut hit each other. So what I have done, or what I'm going to do in 5 minutes, is coat these with lacquer, powder coating. So I'm going to powder coat them with clear coat, and I will do a demonstration on this. You can smell the cardboard burning there at the minute, so I need to be careful not to overheat them. It won't do any harm, it's just the box is drying out. So I'm going to coat these in lacquer now. Don't want to put too much lacquer on them, because you want them to go in the holes that are cut out in the alloys. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to stop this clip and I'm going to start a new clip powder coating the wheel nuts first, and then I will move to the spacers. Hopefully the spacers work out. Let's trial and error with these, because when I powder coat these might start to degas. Air pockets might pop out of them. So it's billet aluminium, so mightn't be that bad. It's not cast. So we will see how it goes. So I'm going to bring these out to the sunlight here just to show you the marks on them. So I think you can see them there now in the camera. See the wee marks that's all around them. That'll end up rusting and corroding. We don't want that, because we'll end up destroying the alloy wheels. So I'm going to coat these in lacquer now. So the wheel nuts are now currently sitting at 100 degrees, approximately. What I want to do is put a wee fine coat of lacquer on them. So that's it. Going off the camera. Ready for the oven. So, just the house oven this time. Just the house oven this time. Setting the oven to 250 degrees to bring it up to temperature. Quick. I want to get it creeping past 180. 200 degrees, I always do that. So I'll bring it to 250 and drop it to 200 straight away, immediately. So here we go. So I'm going to blow off the dust off these powder from powder coating the wheel nuts. Then the objects don't need, or the wheel spacers don't need grounded because my unit's grounded and they're hanging on a bull wire just to make sure no dust line on them. Okay, so camera up closer. So what do we see now? If I can get this nice and clear. So what I want to do here, right, is I want to give them a wee fine coat of lacquer powder. I don't want to give them too much. I don't want the coat too thick. Because this is a mating surface. This mates to the wheel, and the other side mates to the disc, which are already powder coated. So a wee fine coat. You will see the coat I put on is very fine. So the powder particles stick to the item. This is negative charge, and the powder is positively charged through this special gun, powder coating gun. So here we go. Just want a wee fine coat, nothing too much. Move the camera back and touch. So that's it, ready for the oven. Ready for the oven there now. And you can see the wee fine coat on them. Hopefully they don't start throwing bubbles out, air pockets out of them. So I'm going to stick these in the big oven now. If you want to see that oven, the design and the building of it, look earlier last year on my YouTube channel. Make sure I haven't missed anywhere. I wouldn't usually do that, I must tell you that, but only it's clear lacquer and not damage the oven on the inside. So here we go now. I have my oven protected at the front. Okay everyone, I mentioned there about when I was putting spacers in this oven. If you want to see this oven, being built, please see my YouTube channel. You'll see a nice demonstration walk around of it. So I built the entire oven and the booth. If you want to see these, please look up my channel. Okay, so the oven's now currently at 115 degrees, 116, creeps up. It's creeping up there 1 degree every 3 seconds or so. So you can see there the spacers are in the oven, hanging on the bull wire to my tracking system in my oven. The spacers, I hope, don't start gassing, releasing air pockets. I don't think they will, because it's billet aluminium. It's not cast, the same as the heads or a manifold. So degassed, I didn't want to degas them too long. I'm trying to put as little heat in these as possible because they are, I don't want air pockets to start releasing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring them, when I see the powder starting to melt, I'm going to count 15 minutes. So really, they won't see 180 degrees or 200 degrees for 10 minutes. 10 minutes at maximum. Because when the powder is starting to melt, the items are not at temperature yet. I give it another 5 minutes. So we'll see how these go. If this white powder turns clear and no air pockets start popping, Happy days. At this stage we can see the powder going off. If I get the camera in the oven. Oh, you can see the shine appearing. The reason I have this oven covered with cardboard or brown paper is to protect the mirror finish. I have, can you see? So I have a mirror finish right round my oven. You can see me in the background there, look. You can see the camera. You can see the steam rising off the oven because it hasn't been on in a long time. So there we go. Hopefully these are going to be okay. The oven now is currently at 176 degrees. I am letting it go to 200. Once this oven gets to 180 degrees now, I'm just going to start counting 10 or 15 minutes. And that's it. Hopefully no pimples appear on the spacers. There we go. There now, there's the brown paper falling off there. As I stated, if you want to see this oven build, go to my channel. Okay everyone, so it's been approximately 13 minutes later. I haven't looked at the spacers yet. So you can see they're grand. They are now cured. The oven is on its off cycle. So what I'm going to do now, the warning beep there denotes that. So what I'm going to do now is just let the hot air out. So you can see they're grand. Okay, so now detailed photos of each stage. There's not that many compared to part 2 of this van refurbishment. So this is more based on accessories and powder coating. So the first things first, I got a DC2 steering wheel of an Integra Type R. It's one that I had lying. This is the old steering wheel that I needed to use for the Boss. So I needed to remove the back aluminium casting out of the steering wheel. Also, I needed to keep intact the indicator, the wee lever that knocks the indicator switch off the stock. This is a steering wheel cut in probably quite a few pieces. However, I couldn't see what I was doing, so I had to burn the polyurethane rubber off the wheel. So basically, I set fire to it. This will come now. It was important that I didn't burn the part I was trying to keep around the boss there, around the splines. So I just done it in stages, done the right hand side, done the left hand side, went back and forward until I was meeting the aluminium cast. So it was quite a slow process, quite a dirty process if you look at my hands there. So at this stage you can see the aluminium appearing, the frame and behind the polyurethane itself, the frame that connects to the outer circle of the steering wheel. So all that I needed here was basically a little bit that I could weld a plate to, so I could bolt the steering wheel to. However, me being me, I went overboard again, and not only did I leave it so I could weld a plate to it, I made the plate mate the old steering wheel. So as demonstrated in the videos at the start of this, or sorry, the clips at the start of this video, you can see how neat the plate fits into the steering wheel itself. So this is the beginning of the plate that I made. So I drilled a hole in the center, and then I cut a 30mm, I think it might have been a 40mm hole to allow me to place a ratchet down to tighten the nut on off the old steering wheel when it's welded together, obviously. So this is me cutting it with a hole saw, just nothing special. That black part's just to keep it from marking the actual aluminium itself. This alley is I think it's billet aluminium, as far as I mind. So at this stage I needed to mate these two pieces together. You can see that this part's quite an obstacle, quite difficult to connect a plate to it. So I started figuring out using my head, obviously. You can see the marks on the plate there in that previous picture, and I started carving this out with a file, cutting it out with the grinder first, then a file to make it nice and neat. You can see here it is fitting inside the other part of the old van steering wheel. This is quite tricky, but I'm very used to it. So you can see here that it didn't really, I could try it on and turn the wheel on the van before I even welded it because of the jigsaw effect or castle-like appearance, the top of a castle. I think I stated that in the video earlier. So this is the steering wheel again, just showing the parts. This is the part I made, the part that actually sits into the old van steering wheel up close. So at this stage I needed to bore 4 holes, M6 holes, and tap them to M6. This was just done using a drill. Aluminium, but quite soft, doesn't require back and forward action that much. So I just used a starting tap with cutting oil. So this is it ready to be welded. You can see I left a part of the steering wheel on the back. That was for the indicator stock to knock the indicators off. It required a wee lever there. So at this point I was just tidying up with the file, the edges, rounding it all up even, to match the disc. So the steering wheel boss to match the disc, and you can see it's coming together nicely. Okay, so moving on to the suspension refurb. There was lots of work here, front and back. Part 2 and part 1 showed a repair of the strut assembly for the front of the van, the strut caps, the strut mounts. This is the front struts, brand new springs. I didn't use the old springs because they were quite rusty. The new springs were only £20 each. The rear springs were £40 each, which were much dearer for some reason. So this is the struts assembled, ready to be placed in the van once the van was done up. This is the old springs, just a close-up. This is the rear suspension assembly. So the two strut caps, or tops even, they were really contaminated. I done a video clip of refurbishing these. So these needed quite gouged with carbide burr before I could even sandblast them. They were impossible to get. Could not get them anywhere. So I got new shocks, gas shocks, for the rear, top quality obviously to match the front. Also gas. These rubbers were all cleaned up. They were all rust. They were contaminated with rust, believe it or not, stuck onto them. So I had to scrape them and use thinners to clean them. So this is the new rear springs, and moving on now to 4 bolts powder coated for the front calipers and the strut tops for the rear suspension. This is them up close, finished. Black powder, some difference compared to the way they were. They're obviously not 100% perfect, like the, for instance, the calipers at the minute, but they were better than nothing. They will last a lifetime. So this is a close-up of the rear shock and stainless bolts that are used to hold them. Everything is changed to stainless steel. A lovely picture of the rear drum, powder coated, candy purple. You can see that it is not painted. There is no brush marks at all in it. You can also see the new springs being installed and the new shocks. The axle all nice and sandblasted and painted, red oxide and gloss black enamel paint, or stone chip applied too, just for more protection. So again, this is the passenger side. You can see the drum simulates or looks identical to the driver's side even. Brand new, of course. The old ones were pitted, too badly gone. You will see these in the pictures coming up soon. So here we have a picture of, or an image of the shock or strut installed. At this point, I'm not sure. Yeah, that's the new spring, the new shocks. Installed in the rear too. Okay, so moving on to the brakes refurbishment. Quite a lengthy process. So I started off removing all disc and hubs and the frames themselves for the calipers. So this is the old drum for the rear. I had to chip it, grind it, ready for zinc primer. However, I was not happy with the finish. They were too badly pitted. But I didn't know this. Oh, I did know it. So I had to clean them out with the Dremel here too. The wee balancing holes, they were really badly gone. This is the calipers. One was brand new, one was old. One was reconditioned even, one was old. So one had to be chipped. You can see the much contamination on the bench there too. So the rust had to be chipped off before it was sandblasted because it was too coarse for my fine glass. You can see they're coming up quite well at this stage. The brackets for the calipers at the front. So this is the rear drum. You can see the pitting on it even still after it's been blasted. You can see the wee rusty parts up close there. So when I powder coated this, it looked okay when it was primered. However, when I added the white base for the purple candy, it started to release wee air pockets, and it was basically no good. So I got new drums. Anybody else would have been happy with it. So this is the front calipers. They were grand, even when the white powder was applied to the top of them, on top of the zinc. This is them hanging in the tree to cool naturally. They're just out of the oven. This is the front disc. So basically what I do here is I powder coat the whole disc, but I scrape the powder off the surface that the pads meet, and the pads will clean the rest. This is the brackets for, this is everything powder coated here at this stage in zinc primer. At this stage here it is white powder for the candy, and there you see the candy purple on the disc at this stage. This is the rear drum. This is still the old one, so you will see now what happened. So it kept blowing pockets out at me, air pockets. So what I done is I applied more powder to try and, you know, stop it happening. But you can see runs down the side of the disc here, or sorry, the hub or the drum. So I basically bought 2 new drums, degreased them with thinners at this stage, ready for blasting, and these turned out immaculate, as you can see in the photos, the videos through this the start of this video. So here we have blasting the caps for the rear springs, the strut top, the spring cap tops. This is one of the drums, brand new. This is me holding one. Just thinking of the much work I'm putting myself through, the much torture. You can see it in my eyes. So I also powder coated the bolts, heads, and down the shanks, but not the threads. You will see here they are set into cardboard, just like the wheel nuts were in the video clips. So these are powder coated black. A wee skiff of zinc first, zinc primer. Here I'm giving them a wee heat, just to remove any moisture. So this is them in the box ready for powder coating. I give everything a wee heat at the start, especially aluminium, before I powder coat. It tends to work better, you know. So these are the things that were contaminated, thick with rust. So these are probably 5mm at the start, and now they're down to about 2.5, because I've removed all the rust. Well, not 5, probably 3. So this is me ready to powder coat this. First things first, I give them a wee heat in the oven. This is one of the drums with the white powder on top, and now the purple candy. There was no zinc applied to this one because they were brand new, and I don't think there was much need. It only caused more issues. So this is the disc placed on the front strut, ready for the calipers. Calipers at this stage are ready to be coated in candy purple. White first. So the white or the purple was immediately put on top of the white when it was hot. Hot flocking it, just to give it better adhesion, so it sticks better, you know, especially when it's cooled. So less chance of chipping, etc. These were cured in the oven for 20 minutes once they reached temperature. Reason 20 minutes is because the calipers are so dense. A lot of metal there, a lot of volume to heat in the oven. The oven was also increased to 250 degrees at this stage because of the more dense the actual metal is itself. It's not a piece of titanium powder coating at the end of the day, it's got a huge volume. So this is it finished, it looks quite nice. At this stage I needed to do the brackets, just finish the brackets, ready for mounting or ready for bolting and installing the pistons and the new rings at this stage. I didn't need to do candy purple on the inside here, you see I left it white, the white base. But I did put a clear lacquer over the whole lot. You can see how the shine of the drums here. These have been running on the van now 2 weeks. There's no heat on them, no heat. Different if it was a race car. So this is the new springs, came from Poland, that are inserted into the caliper. And believe it or not, the powder coating was not thick. The pads slide in. I didn't need to take a wee nick off the pads, like I usually do, to allow them to fill in because of the powder. Powder can be quite thick at times, it's not like paint. So at this stage I'm just removing any excess powder on the inside, so it doesn't get in the way of the shoes. This is the front, built, flexies on, everything, bolts on, new boots, new springs, new pads, everything. The spacers are put on that were lacquered earlier in the video clips. We skipped the lacquer, remember, nothing serious. The wheels are attached with the lacquered wheel nuts and the lacquered wheel holes. Please see video clips if you skipped ahead. So this is the rear wheels with spacers not on, front wheels, bumpers not clean, everything really dirty at this stage. So now finishing up now with simple stages. Mud flap mount. So at the early stages before I painted the wings, I inserted rivet nuts into the wings. I was thinking ahead, so I didn't need to screw self-tappers into the wings. Very difficult to put mud flaps on this van without these wee rivet nuts. So basically there's one in the sill, two in the wing, and this is it painted and finished, looking sweet. The rear bumper is the same. I used stainless rivet nuts over the top. Everything has to be perfect. No half jobs. I didn't screw screws into the bumper. I used M5 dome stainless nuts, 316 stainless. So now moving on to the graphics. So way back in 2021 in the summertime I done this van up inside and the graphics, but I obviously didn't do no welding till later in the year. So I added the Facebook stickers, graphics around the van there. You can see the Facebook logos. Didn't put them on straight, I thought it looked better in a wee slant. Now moving on to the alloys. So this is what I currently was on the van with nice wheel trims. The wheel trims are actually quite nice. They're still lying in the shade. Selling now because they're wasted. They're like modern type wheel trims. They look like alloys actually. So I wasn't happy with the wheels because of the rusting behind them. They were really badly pitted. So that was the new wheel there, the alloy. They are Bola B25. This is the new wheel spacers. They are of a top brand, Bomic or whatever, I forget. Bomic, sorry. So this is the wheel nuts, lacquered and all. I think they're lacquered at this stage. So the reason I lacquered these wheel nuts is because from experience, I know that these round wheel nuts are very tight to the alloy, and there is a reaction with metal and aluminium, and they're close together. So now I have a bar on the wheel, and I also have a bar of lacquer on the wheel nuts. So the wipers were needed done up too. So the wipers at this stage were sandblasted at the ends only, and they were sanded, and primered and painted with enamel paint. They look quite well at the end up. So usually usually wipers are a matte colour, but these were gloss black. I also got Aero Wipers to finish it all off. I think I have an image here coming up with the Aero Wipers on the van. Not sure. If not, you will see it in the video clips. No, I don't have one. So you will see the Aero Wipers in the video clips if you go back to the start. They are very good wipers. I forget to make, but they are purchased off Amazon. So also I updated the radiator coolant, new rated coolant pipes, new everything. Basically because the ones in the radiator, I sandblasted the subframe and I must have hit the radiator, but the radiator is rotten anyway, so it just fell apart. So I just got a new radiator, new coolant pipes, new everything. There's the old one beside the new one, so you can see the difference, serious difference. Okay, so the closing images have arrived. Thank goodness the van is finished. Now I can move on to my other projects such as the glove and the DC5 and the L Atom, and hopefully other new projects in the future. Please do not forget to subscribe and like if you want to see more interesting projects. Thank you for watching. Come again soon.